Of August, so it's safe to say happy new month. It is Good Morning Uganda. You are watching UBC TV. We come to you live from the Nile Avenue. My name is Julie F. Nantaba with Robert Chirabo Nyonyitono. Robert, good morning.
Good morning, Julie, and good morning, Uganda.
Right.
How are you, Uganda?
Now, Robert, over the celebrations, the 33rd celebrations of the Kabaka of Buganda, I met Agaba Oscar. Afande Agaba Oscar, who said he enjoys the show, he follows the show, and he's ever glued onto UBC TV every single morning to make sure that he starts the day with us. An honor that you get to give us your ears, your time, your eyes, and your attention every morning. And to everyone else, just as Agaba Oscar, we do celebrate you and thank you very, very much. Feel free to be part of the show. We are doing live together every morning, so feel free to give us an update of what's happening in your area code. Is it raining? Is it shining? What is happening? An accident? Any sad news or any good news? Anything, as long as it's news and we ought to inform the nation of Uganda. Feel free to be part of it. 0709602592. That's the WhatsApp number that you use to be part of every engagement here on As We Do It Together. Robert, what transpired over the weekend for you away from the coronation?
Well, the very important thing that inspired me, and I want to urge Ugandans, is what is happening in Karamoja. Seriously speaking, over the weekend, Friday had a very heavy downpour. It rained cats and dogs in Kampala. But one very important thing that we must notice, our brothers in Karamoja and sisters are really dying due to lack of food.
Right.
We want to thank government for the aid they sent, a lot of billions. Corporate companies, big companies in this government, churches, places of worship, the civil society. Can we come together? I remember during COVID-19 when President Museveni called for aid. Do you remember how people came in and donated so very much to that cause?
Right.
But maybe because their names were being read. I remember when he stopped reading the names, also the aid dwindled. But by the time when the president would come and read, Chirabo Robert Nyonyitono, 1 million Uganda shillings. So and so industries, 100 million shillings. When that reading...
that's part of CSR, you know. Companies do it, but at the end of the day, it also has to have something in it for the company. And usually, it's for the sake of PR and marketing. The brand has to be out there, ultimately.
Of course, who wouldn't want his company to be read and known by the president?
Right.
Has answered to a noble cause.
Indeed. Now, Robert, let's get straight into the updates we have this morning. And of course, as always, we start off with the local scene that you carry for us.
Now, let me begin with that very story. A Miracle Center Cathedral pastor, that is Robert Kayanja, has appealed to government to prioritize water conservation and reservation and adoption of modern farming methods to strengthen the country's preparedness against drought and famine. The call was during a food donation for the Elijah Dinner Initiative to support communities affected by famine in Karamoja. Recently, the Minister for ICT, Kasule Lumumba, said Cabinet had approved a relief fund for Karamoja after concerns that the prolonged heat wave could leave many communities hungry. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister launched a food aid program to support communities in Karamoja. Miracle Center Cathedral Rubaga stepped forward with a donation of Elijah's meal, a nutritional package containing various bodybuilding nutrients to support affected communities. Pastor Kayanja said that while providing relief is important, there is a need for better water management systems and the promotion of modern farming methods. Pastor Kayanja and his church, through the Bucket Initiative, have been supporting communities in Karamoja and encouraging food production. The Ministry of Works and Transport has conducted an operation in bus parks to inspect the condition of buses as part of the efforts to reduce road accidents. The operation, led by Commissioner in charge of Transport Regulation and Safety, Winston Katushabe, found several buses loading passengers. Although they did not meet safety standards, they were suspended from operation as part of efforts to reduce road accidents. The Ministry of Works and Transport launched an inspection in bus parks to assess the condition of vehicles buses that did not meet the required safety standards were suspended from service. The operation, led by the Commissioner for Transport and Regulation and Safety, Winston Katushabe, began at Kisenyi Bus Terminal. The inspectors found buses belonging to Baby Coach, registration number UAA 934E, Ibanda, registration number UAJ 882R, and Abapakasi were in poor mechanical condition. The Commissioner, Katushabe, ordered all passengers to quit. Commissioner Katushabe told the media that the inspections had found several safety concerns in different bus parks. Saturday Muhwezi, the manager of Kisenyi Bus Terminal, pledged to comply with all the issued inspection directives. The operation also extended to Namayimba Bus Park. Registration number UAP 753H, belonging to Kampala Express, was in poor mechanical condition and its number plate was plucked off. The operation comes at a time when bus accidents have increased. Government launched the 186 billion shillings Kalagala Itanda Falls Conservation and Protection Project, KIFCP, a 4-year initiative aimed at restoring degraded ecosystems along River Nile, protecting biodiversity and boosting tourism across 19 districts. The fully government-funded project targets increasing eco-functionality along the Nile from the current 10.5% to 95% through restoration of degraded river banks, forest reserves, and fish breeding grounds. Speaking at the project's inspection meeting in Jinja City, Maureen Anino, the Assistant Commissioner for Environment Sector Support Services at the Ministry of Water and Environment, said the project will gazette and demarcate a 100-meter buffer zone stretching 2,400 kilometers on both banks of River Nile. Kayunga District Resident Commissioner John Magezi welcomed the project, pledging government support through community mobilization, political leadership, and enforcement to ensure its success. Kayunga District LC5 Chairperson George Waswa described the project as a major boost to tourism, environmental conservation, and local development. Jinja District Principal Environment Officer Moses Maganda identified encroachment on forest reserves, illegal cultivation within 100 meters river buffer zone, deforestation, and illegal sand mining as some of the major threats to the project, which is to kick off. The project will initially be implemented in Jinja City, Jinja, Buyikwe, Kamuri, and Kayunga district before being rolled out to the remaining districts along River Nile. And finally, on the local scene, the President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, His Excellency Felix Tshisekedi, has gifted Uganda People's Defense Forces under Operation Suja with 10 brand new Land Cruisers utility pickup trucks to appreciate the job well done in the fighting of ADF terrorists who have terrorized the people of Congo and Uganda. While handing over the vehicles on behalf of the President, the Governor North Kivu, Major General Samona Kalule Everest, said the President was appreciative of the good working relationship between the DRC government and Uganda. The two armies' joint operations against ADF terrorists. The vehicles will help in intensifying operations against the remaining ADF terrorists in order to restore complete security in the region. The Ituri governor appreciated the efforts of the Joint Security Forces, FRADAC and UPDF for the peace and calm in eastern DRC. Major General Stephen Mugera, the UPDF Joint Task Force Commander, Operation Shuja, and the commander of the Mountain Infantry Division received the vehicles on behalf of the Uganda People's Defense Forces and the Ugandan government. Speaking at the same function in Beni, Major General Mugerwa, on behalf of the Commander-in-Chief, His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and the President of the Republic of Uganda and the Chief of Defense Forces, Major General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, thanked His Excellency President Felix Tshisekedi for the good gesture towards UPDF and promised that the joint forces will not rest until all the ADF terrorists were wiped out completely from eastern DRC. And with that, we come to the end of our local stories.
Right. Thank you very much, Robert, for that report. That report actually gives light into a story that we shall be looking at regarding the ECOWAS currency when it comes to matters regional blocks in Africa. But that also cues us to what we have on the global scene. And we're starting off with matters Iran-USA, a war that has so far spanned 5 months. Now, US President Donald Trump has said that new talks with Iran will begin on Monday after calling off what he said would have been a massive strikes on the country. Quote unquote, they knew the extent of the attack because they saw it forming, he told reporters on board Air Force One on Sunday. We're talking to them in the form of a negotiation. It begins tomorrow afternoon. Now, in an earlier post on Truth Social, Trump said he had been asked by Iran and US allies in the Middle East to hold off on any attack as the parameters of a deal had been agreed. Iran is yet to respond to Trump's remarks, and the US president has repeatedly vowed that a negotiated end to the war is near, only for tit-for-tat strikes to resume. Now, in his remarks on Air Force One, Trump declined to outline a deadline for a deal to be struck with Tehran, adding, "We'll just see how it is. We're ready to go anytime we want. I'm not looking to kill people," Trump added that Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, as well as US partners such as the United Arab Emirates and Qatar, had urged against conducting strikes over the weekend. Now, away from President Donald Trump, let's move on to a story of a suicide bomber in Pakistan who killed 14 people and injured dozens more in an attack targeting anti-militancy demonstrators in the city of Kabul in Pakistan's northwestern Swat Valley. 5 police officers were among those killed at the event, which was staged outside a local police station to protest growing militant violence in the region and the state's inability to protect its citizens. Now, those gathered accused authorities of failing to act decisively against militants, saying residents want to live without fear after years of devastating violence. This same area was the home of Nobel laureate Malala Yousafzai, who was shot there by a Taliban gunman in 2012. Hundreds of people were at the rally, and social media video footage showed a speaker mid-sentence when an explosion rocked the area and sparked panic among demonstrators. All right, now let's come back to the continent regarding African unity and the issues that fall within the blocs, throwing a light to the ECOWAS single currency. The 12-member West African Economic Bloc is set to launch the Monetary Union and Eco-Currency in July 2027. Now, last month, ECOWAS said it was leaning towards a phased rollout, with countries meeting convergence criteria such as inflation, debt, and monetary stability joining fast. Guinea is the first member state to announce it will retain its national currency, the Guinean franc. Analysts say the decision is likely due to fears that joining the monetary union before developing sufficient production capacity could stifle its economy. And the country's major trade partners also lie outside West Africa, with 80% of its exports going to Asia. By tying its currency to neighboring states, Conakry risks losing certain levers of influence, economist Mohamed Kamara told RFI. The bloc is also set to meet again in December to resolve outstanding issues, particularly around the future central bank, decision-making rules, and which countries will adopt the eco-fast. Very interesting that one is, because as we might all well know, there are countries in the Sahel region that chose to split away and form their own power, and that is countries like Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger leaving ECOWAS to form an alliance of Sahel states, which ideally stifles the whole idea of the ECOWAS single currency. But we definitely have our eyes on that story as it unfolds and look forward to what happens. Will it eventually come to shape in 2027? We await. Now let's move on to what we have in the dailies as headlines making the dailies this morning. Robert, what does the New Vision have?
Well, the New Vision, NSSF to evict tycoon from Temangaro land. They using over 100 acres since 2008. Now we have Embaru, 80,000 boys to be circumcised. What a number. And education material pass O level, mathematics is there. 8 soldiers arrested over fight in bank. Still moving on in the New Vision, Muhoozi unveils Yoni statue. And Canadian charged over 5.5 billion gold scam. And now moving to the Daily Monitor, LC1 chiefs for life. Interesting there. And export value hidden in Uganda's organic wealth. Still, President Museveni condemns expensive weddings and bride price. That is His Excellency. Now we go to government. Banks on new policy to increase entry in varsities. That's what we can get for you in the New Vision and the Daily Monitor this morning.
Right, carrying on to the Daily Nation, which is representing Kenya. That is 3.5 billion shillings a day borrowing spree. That's the headline. And other stories to look into: Enter Linda Mwananchi party plan. And sad story on the doctor who was killed. Her killers used her stolen car to lay an ambush. And judge bans blanket fines for school unrest damages. That brings us to the end of what we have in the dailies. Get yourselves any copy to delve deeper into the detail. For now, we have a short break. When we get back, we are throwing an insight into the LC2 elections that are happening on the 10th of August 2026. For now, enjoy some music. Here is Moses Bliss with My Name. Good morning.
Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
A very good morning to you. Welcome back from the weekend. That was a weekend that had the coronation, or 33rd coronation of the Kabaka of Uganda. That very same weekend ended the month of July and started the month of August. So it's safe to say happy new month. It is Good Morning Uganda. You are watching UBC TV. We come to you live from the Nile Avenue. My name is Julie F. Nantaba with Robert Chirabo Nyonyitono. Robert, good morning.
Good morning, Julie, and good morning, Uganda.
Right.
How are you, Uganda?
Now, Robert, over the celebrations, the 33rd celebrations of the Kabaka of Uganda, I met Agaba Oscar. Afande Agaba Oscar, who said he enjoys the show, he follows the show, and he's ever glued onto UBC TV every single morning to make sure that he starts the day with us. An honor that you get to give us your ears, your time, your eyes, and your attention every morning. And to everyone else, just as Agaba Oscar, we do celebrate you and thank you very, very much. Feel free to be part of the show. We are doing live together every morning, so feel free to give us an update of what's happening in your area code. Is it raining? Is it shining? What is happening? An accident? Any sad news or any good news? Anything, as long as it's news and we ought to inform the nation of Uganda. Feel free to be part of it. 0709602592. That's the WhatsApp number that you use to be part of every engagement here on As We Do It Together. Robert, what transpired over the weekend for you away from the coronation?
Well, the very important thing that inspired me, and I want to urge Ugandans, is what is happening in Karamoja. Seriously speaking, over the weekend, Friday had a very heavy downpour. It rained cats and dogs in Kampala. But one very important thing that we must note is our brothers in Karamoja and sisters are really dying due to lack of food.
Right.
We want to thank government for the aid they sent, a lot of billions. Corporate companies, big companies in this government, churches, places of worship, the civil society. Can we come together? I remember during COVID-19 when President Museveni called for aid. Do you remember how people came in and donated so very much to that cause?
Star 100 star 21 hash and select daily or use the MyNGN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General to invest in taxation. When people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo, clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
Now, you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Booza Commissioner.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Every Wednesday, live in our studios in the heart of Kampala.
We have to change the political culture in this country, really. Who has bewitched Ugandans?
I want to assure you, as government, we shall do whatever it takes to ensure that Ugandans are safe.
We have conversations that have analysis, explanation.
This law society, this union of theirs, because they want a job everywhere, they want to be this, they want to be that, they want... No. We know it's a union.
You cannot be making a road, bitumen grade 1, in Congo for 5 billion.
But not every truth is fact, and not every fact is truth.
The argument that the General Court Martial is responsible for peace and stability is without basis, either in law or in fact.
We have been told how Napoleon was a great orator. Now, Napoleon cannot help me get food. They told me combine harvest in Saskatchewan. I don't know where Saskatchewan is. This is a geographer we taught. Instead of teaching me how to preserve Mabera forest, they're teaching me about Rhineland. This is a problem we got. We cannot run away from it.
Right now, you hear very disgusting stories of members of parliament. Instead of discussing the details of loans, they ask for their cuts.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda. Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
The government's mandate is to maintain law and order, safeguard citizens' rights, and provide essential public services.
Remember, one of the pillars of a roadmap is innovation and entrepreneurship.
There has been this question of how are you protecting our indigenous seed?
There's going to be a toll project that answers somebody's question.
For the past 20 weeks, the front bench has brought you insightful discussions on governance, security, healthcare, justice, and commerce.
When you go through this complicated procedure, involve the lawyers, you bring the case against him, the judge will hear you out and pass judgment, and you're out of court in record time.
We remain committed to keeping you informed and engaged on key national matters.
So these are huge, these are powerful organizations which now Uganda chairs. Why don't you come together
If we haven't migrated to the e-card because of various reasons, including that not all the people of Uganda have smartphones.
You can sit in your house, apply for a passport.
If you have a Ugandan who has a successful logistics firm in the US, it means he can come to Uganda and do a lot more.
Now airing every Monday at 8:30 p.m. with me, Jethro Kasaiji, your interface with the government only on your public broadcaster, UBC, Inspiring Uganda.
Every Wednesday, live in our studios in the heart of Kampala.
We have to change the political culture in this country, really. Who has bewitched Ugandans?
I want to assure you, as government, we shall do whatever it takes to ensure that Ugandans are safe.
We have conversations that have analysis, explanation.
This law society, this union of theirs, because they want a job everywhere, they want to be this, they want to be that, they want... No. We know it's a union.
You cannot be making a road, bitumen grade 1, in Congo for 5 billion.
But not every truth is fact, and not every fact is truth.
The argument that the General Court Martial is responsible for peace and stability is without basis, either in law or in fact.
We have been told how Napoleon was a great orator. Now, Napoleon cannot help me get food. They told me combine harvesters in Saskatchewan. I don't know where Saskatchewan is. This is a geography we're taught. Instead of teaching me how to preserve Mabera forest, they're teaching me about Rhineland. This is a problem we got. We cannot run away from it.
Right now, you hear very disgusting stories of members of parliament. Instead of discussing the details of loans, they ask for their cuts.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Public broadcaster, UBC, Inspiring Uganda.
In all these years, we emphasize two words, wealth and jobs. And we try to waken our people up to show them where wealth and jobs come from.
The Parish Development Model, PDM, is a bold initiative that is reshaping Uganda's rural economy. By allocating 100 million shillings to each parish annually, PDM empowers households by unlocking opportunities for wealth creation.
This program will be maintained. Each year we send 100 million for the parish. If you get the 1 million, you can buy some goats, you can buy some pigs, you can buy even young cows.
Farmers are transitioning from subsistence farming to commercial agriculture, laying the groundwork for wealth creation and improved livelihoods.
This project started 11 years ago after an inspiration from His Excellency. And that time I was working as a taxi driver. I was doing that Massa business in Soroti, and he was talking about how to improve household income.
With the PDM, you bring back the money after 24 months, but in the third year, you would get another 100 million paid back by those who got first.
The President's message is a mindset changer. Becoming rich does not mean you should have a lot of land, you should have a lot of education, you just need a vision and implement and start from where you are.
So therefore, this PDM is to get all of you out of poverty. That's why we said 100 million per parish per year.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation, when people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo Clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Recently, the Minister of ICT, Kasula Lumumba, revealed that the cabinet had approved a relief fund for Karamoja after concerns that the prolonged heat wave could leave many communities affected. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister launched a food aid program to support communities in Karamoja affected by the ongoing food crisis. To support the government response, individuals and institutions have also joined the efforts. Miracle Center Cathedral Church Lubaga, led by Pastor Robert Kayanja, has stepped forward with a donation of Elijah's Meal, a nutrition package containing various bodybuilding nutrients.
This is Elijah's Meal, which has got 32 nutrients to 39 nutrients. It will build, it will help it to strengthen, and it will build the people. This is what they need, this bag for each household.
Pastor Kayanja said that while providing relief is important, there is need for better water management systems and promotion of modern farming methods.
Everything is being challenged globally. Me, I stand on 5 points to change anything anywhere in the world. We talk about irrigation, but you irrigate using water. So the first solution, Karamoja has 2 seasons of rain. We don't harvest that water. So before we even start talking about irrigation, putting money in irrigation, we need to design mechanism of harvesting water. You cannot harvest water when 95% of roofs are searched.
He said the government should support and encourage large-scale farmers to boost food production and prevent shortages in the country.
Brothers and sisters, let me throw this. Right now they need that mitigation of food, and it was needed. Thank God the office of the Prime Minister, she did the right thing to send the food and UPD. Thank you, Madam Prime Minister, you did well. But that amount of money, let them give them to large-scale farmer. Karamoja will not stop. Karamoja need large farmers, first and foremost. And the government, and I appealed, I remember we were doing a Thanksgiving of the President of Kololo for his victory. And I appealed for large farmers, large-scale farmers to be given affordable capital and available capital so that they may grow food for Uganda. We cannot grow on Chida Chonka. The president keeps on talking about these things and people think it's a joke. It's true, because what I can grow in one season, a whole district cannot.
Although Pastor Kayanja and his church have been supporting communities in Karamoja and encouraging food production, he still faces criticism.
Disappointed because you see some leaders come up and tweet things that I have no. The office of the Prime Minister, when they are tackling this issue currently, they said this time around Karamoja is distressed because of the weather, climate and changes. So now someone went and tweeted and said Pastor Kayanja and and Professor Nawangwe Makerere, they are the one who has failed Karamoja. So someone who doesn't know the difference between Pastor Kayanja, Professor Nawangwe, and the climate change, that one that is he really needs, he has a mental situation. He needs to be helped. But however, the work we've done in Karamoja is now 3 years.
Amwaiva Njuko, reporting for UBC.
All right, thank you very much, Ivan Juko, for that story, and it addresses the situation, the dire situation that is in Karamoja. Good morning, Uganda. You are watching UBC TV. We come to you live from the Nile Avenue. My name is Julie F. Nantaba with Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono. This is a situation or a story or a concern that Robert started with as we began the conversation for today's morning on the show. And indeed, what Pastor Kayanja also addressed was the fact that it's not the first time Uganda is facing a dry spell. Why aren't there any lessons learned from the past to be implemented into the future for future dry spells, especially when it comes to areas such as Karamoja? Robert, with all that has been done, churches such as Pastor Robert Kayanja's Miracle Center are coming through with Elijah's relief. And of course, the government has already, Honorable Nabanja did launch a food aid program to Karamoja. And therein, the Minister of ICT, Honorable Kasule Lumumba, also confirmed that Cabinet had approved a relief fund for Karamoja. However, according to Pastor Robert Kayanja, he states that why isn't there an emergency fund without even waiting for any manner of approval from Parliament or anything that has to handle things like this? But then even over the years, when dry spells occur, why don't we learn and implement for future dry spells? What are your 2 cents?
Well, first I want to thank Pastor Robert Kayanja and the Kayanja Ministries called Rubaga Miracle Center Ministries. They have really put so much concern on Karamoja and try to help the people of Karamoja understand what is best for them. But also I want to thank government. We saw recently about over 45 billion Uganda shillings availed to address this situation. We saw the Right Honorable Prime Minister launching and flagging of food aid to Karamoja. Well, one would say it's not that very much given the problem, but at least there's something being done. Now, we also want to thank government that over the years, government has done something to transform Karamoja. I was in Karamoja 10 years ago. My first time to go in Karamoja, I think it was 10 years ago, and during that time there was cattle rustling. During that time it was very unsafe for you to be in Karamoja. I remember when we were going, we had to be escorted with guns. At least there was a patrol that had to go in front of you. Cattle rustling was cattle rustling. People would attack vehicles just to get tires and make these tangirenyana, you know, those, they called rugabire, those sandals that they put on. So Karamoja was something very different. Government has transformed Karamoja. Now there is some bit of agriculture happening there. It is peaceful now. Now, when peace is restored in an area, what does it mean? That now productivity can start. However, we must also understand that Karamoja is slightly different from many parts of Uganda. Are you aware that Karamoja has one of the most fertile soils in Uganda? That part, Karamoja. Most fertile soils. But the challenge it has, that when it rains in Karamoja, it will rain cats and dogs. And when it shines, you may think you're in purgatory. I hear the Catholics say there is that place, if you've been a sinner, where God first keeps you, if they pray then later. That they tell us it's also very hot. Now, you would think you're in purgatory in Karamoja. Now, what does that mean? That these soils, the water will penetrate through very, very fast. And when they come to, and when the sun comes, of course, they are heated and it is dry. Now, Pastor Robert Kayanja talks of water conservation. We collect this water so that they have the water even in times when it is so hot. I agree with government initiatives and programs to extend aid. But you see, relief is not sustainable.
Right.
Let me give you an example of the refugees. Today, agencies are pulling out like nothing. But government came up with a plan for the refugees. They are given land. When they come, they can cultivate. They have what? So how do we extend such programs to Karamoja, but knowing that they have a different landscape, different climate, and what is stable? So we must design something tailor-made for Karamoja specifically. And we have a ministry for that, which is also doing something good. The Ministry for Karamoja Affairs. They're doing a great job, no doubt about that. But we need to improve and better. You know, when we talk of the word tailor-made, specifically, Julie, if a suit is tailor-made for me, it will fit me and fit me properly. But if I go to a shop and I buy sizes, different sizes. So Karamoja, we must understand its dynamics.
Indeed.
And design policies that suit. But also, we must now, look for a quick solution. That's where I'm calling upon companies. We have companies here that have made a lot of money out of Ugandans. Telecommunication companies. We are calling various investors here. Let's go back and donate to the people of Karamoja. Let's have that broader call to help people of Karamoja.
Right. Indeed, you are watching UBC TV. We're talking about the situation in Karamoja. And allow me first backtrack a little bit. I should have started with this. We do apologize. We're supposed to have a conversation regarding LC2 elections, but unavoidable events have transpired. So we are pushing it to tomorrow. But for now, let's chew on what's happening in Karamoja, and do share your 2 cents as to how best you think the dry spell should not affect Karamoja anymore. Do share what you think on 0709-602-592 as we chew on it and help each other together as a nation of Uganda. Robert, let's look at the people of Karamoja. Usually it is, in fact, not just said, it is obvious that when you're trying to push a narrative or trying to have a change in an area, it also has to start with mindset. How do you think mindset of the Karamojans is also playing a role in this constant suffering whenever dry spells occur? And how do you think the same mindset can be helped to be better in the near future?
Now, Karamoja is a bit complicated, but we have an area that transformed and we can copy from it. I'll give you, there was a clip I was watching of the history of the Bahima by someone called Eddie Gabate. Now, these were initially pastoralists. Pastoralists. They never cultivated food.
Right.
The cow was everything to them. The lady in that interview says a person would grow up when they have never tasted food. Until butter trade came in, they would give you some milk, some ghee. Now, what is important to note is that the lifestyle of Karamajongs for a very long time has not been the whole. It's not been cultivating. It's been their animals moving place to place, looking for water. No wonder sometimes you have conflict. You hear them in certain parts. Tell you Karamajongs have come with their cows. They help us take them back. You hear them in different parts because for them life is basically the cow.
Right.
Now, Julie, something that has been in the minds of people and has become their lifestyle, transforming them is not that easy. What does it require? We may not go with the handhold to Karamajongs. Because a person who is used to animals, not much sweat is taken in. We must do what we call mechanization of agriculture. That this person will not have to get a hoe and dig from here to Garden City. It is hectic, and that's not has been there, and that has not been their way of life. But if we have tractors, and tractors, I don't talk about these, are they called Massey Ferguson, those big and all that. They are modern, simple tools that can do that cultivation. So that this person doesn't put in so much. We need extensive and deliberate extension workers who are there because you're introducing something new to these people. You need to put in times effort to what, but the challenge sometimes you have universal projects. PDM, now Karamajong, we have these extension workers. So we need to say no. Here we have a big deal to transform their minds, but also to show these people what must be done. Sometimes I think the challenge we face in some of these programs, we want to improve what people have been doing. That, okay, due to the war and this have lost cows, let's give them some cows. And I thank government, that is in good faith. But now you're adding to something they have been doing over time, but we've noticed it's not sustaining them in droughts and in tough times.
Right.
Why don't we now focus on introducing something new, but in a better and simpler way than it has been being done in other areas? Look at it. You have these zonal farms, they are put there, model farms are put there. Then if you look at their land system, if it's communal, how do we help? I want to tell you, if people find agriculture easily done, less stressing,
they'll be enticed to eat.
They'll be enticed to eat. But if we think you're going to take the same agriculture the way it is in Uganda, the way it is in Mbarara, where people now have known how things are done, it may not be adopted. Even if we give them seeds that the rain is coming, meteorology department has detected rain, take seedlings, let them plant.
Right.
They may not plant the seedlings.
Allow me also now point out, when you say, you bring out something very crucial as to some of the projects that are laid across by the government to solutions such as this, but are not exactly speaking to the people whose problem is meant to be solved. And therein, allow me now also speaking to research. And as we begin to close this conversation, we're speaking to the research of whoever is responsible, whatever department is responsible. Do you think government sometimes misses some of these gaps in line with carrying out research, finding out if, yes, we want to provide this solution, but does it necessarily speak to these people? Shall it actually solve the problem, or we are just wasting, or wasting indeed taxpayers' money, buying all of this maybe food, getting all these resolutions, and at the end of the day it will solve nothing?
I'll address this on two fronts. One, you can find a solution to a problem, but implementation becomes a problem. I already say that President Kaguta Museveni knows all the problems of Ugandans, understands them, and has the solutions. But the people sometimes to work with, to have these solutions implemented, at times is a lonely wolf. At times is a lonely wolf. Two, having people understanding your vision and buying it, and you move together. It's like a family, Judy, you're married. If your husband says, this year our mission is to build, and for you, and says, I have land in Kayunga, we build a house, at some time we shall shift and go there. And for your mindset is, but why would we, we rather rent, we rather do something else, we shall get to that there later. You won't achieve that because you're two parallel people. Now, when you understand their programs, I watched and I worked partially for NUSAF too. It was under the office of the Prime Minister. And one of the things I understood is we had the Northern Uganda Social Rehabilitation Fund. Government had a plan, but NUSAF 1 was a mess. It brought a lot of issues. NUSAF 2, they had to bring even journalists on board to help monitor and whistleblow everything. I was part of that team. Now that tried to work. NUSAF 3, I was off the project. I don't know how things are moving effectively. But I would see that government has a vision. Government has a plan. But you would find someone who has given cows, you don't know where they are. Someone who has given money to start a business, you don't know, even locating that person.
Sad indeed. And so, from what you say, we do hope that Chisanja Hakuna Kulala paints or delivers a
because
different
transforming a society is threefold. One,
right,
you must do research,
right,
identify
right.
the problem,
and
then get a solution. But you must have the right people to work with, that is two. And finally, the people you're delivering this must also be very understanding.
Right.
I've seen people, President Museveni under Poverty Alleviation Department of State House gives a person a cow. It said it by Madam, I think, Joan Kakwenzi. I don't know if that program is still on. I've taken long to follow. But you would go where someone has been given a heifer that has capacity to give them 20 liters of milk a day. Now, that person plays around with this cow and at a certain point sells it to somebody else. So the beneficiaries must be fine-tuned.
Indeed, the beneficiaries must be fine-tuned. That very statement closes the conversation that we have this morning and ends the reel. Up next is GMU Tourism Express. We do have the agenda as well as sports and the extra therein. So do stay tuned. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation, when people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo, clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Hi everyone, my name is Nampera Christine Tendo. I studied software engineering, but I'm currently an influencer. And we have been here since Monday. Oh my God, guys, Maction Falls. 10 out of 10. I was in Zanzibar last week, and obviously the water is blue, it's gorgeous. But there is a reason why Uganda is called the Pearl of Africa. This is so beautiful. Like, you see the Lord's creation, guys. See? I wanna just go. I wanna go in. I wanna go in. You guys, if you know how precious a pearl is, yes, there's diamond, there's gold, but a pearl, it shows you how precious Uganda is, because the strength of this water the strength of this waterfall, it's magnificent. And you have where you can stand and like and wish and pray and see how God is so wonderful. Because once you come here, there is nothing man-made here. This is all God. The water is flowing heavenly. Guys, Uganda is so beautiful. Uganda is so beautiful. If you stay just in Kampala, you won't see the beauty of Uganda. Just move away from Kampala. Come to, you know, the greenery. Come and see how beautiful Action Falls is, Queen Elizabeth. We have so many parks, so many beautiful animals. We have people who are willing to take you through. And let me tell you, Uganda Tourism Board is here for you. UWA is here for you. Uganda Wildlife Authority is here for you. Just 25th, 26th, and 27th. Come through, enter some of the parks that are selected for free, and enjoy the experience. Honestly, I've had an amazing time. If you see me right now, I was showered with a lot of water, but I was grateful because I felt, man, when you relate with nature, you can feel these things. These things, words can't express how beautiful this place is. You just have to come and see it for yourself. And I thank so much Uganda Wildlife Authority for partnering with us, the influencers, to show the world how beautiful the Pearl of Africa is. Because they just end on seeing it on Kampala and they think we don't have. But tuine byobugaga. Hey, amasiga fogalabye. But now you guys, come and tour. See Action Falls. There are different things you can do when you come to Action Falls. It's an amazing experience. And yeah, can't wait to see you guys whenever you decide to come. And follow me, Christine Nampera, on all my social media handles to get to see more tourism, because this is just the beginning. Now we are here in Action Falls. Next week, Queen Elizabeth. The other week, Ginger. The other week, Kapchora. The other week, Karamoja. We are going to be trying different things for you guys because we have to make you see that Uganda is beautiful. Mwah.
Bana musibe mchabasabo ne banyabo amanya ne dobozi waiki benda agobuzale tugume Wycliffe ojja kwebuza lwaki agobuzale nga kuwadde wano wendi bannange njagala sooka okwenenya nga nenenyeza UWA oba gye bayita Uganda Wildlife Authority obutamanya kintu kibi nnyo tuva mu famire enjavu so tubulidde mu kibuga mu zi suburbs. We do not know what we have been missing. I do not know kaneyogerere era nsaba mutusonyiwe ffe nga abavubuka obutamanya how beautiful Uganda is. Uganda is such a beautiful country. Nti ebifo twakagenda mu kifo side emu yokka Action Falls oba Action National Park. I'm asking myself, ki ekiri mu West, ki ekiri ekidepo and wherever else, because oh my God, mutusonyiwe era abavubuka bannange mwena gye muli bambi. You have to come to Action Falls National Park. Olabe bino, olabe elephants, olabe bakulire emboozi zino. Bano abantu ebintu bye batuyigiriza nze mbadde sibimanyi na bimanyi nti elephant ebeera emyaka 8. Elephant ensajja ebeera eri enkazi zibeera zokka, mami, jajja n'omuwala we, era batambulira mu kibinja. Bino byonna mbadde sibimanyi, tubiyigidde eno okitegeera. Tulabye ku elephant ng'esala ekkubo lino lyennyini. Gaya tugambye how many kilograms? 6,000. Very heavy animal. They live up to what? Fande Silva? 80 years. My lovely wife, your man has done it. I have done it. I have done a zip lining for the first time in my life. Jesus Christ. Omutima gwadde genda kutuka naye ulowoozezza jangu Jesus. Because man, I am so blessed to be Ugandan. It's an honor okuba nti tugume Wycliffe nange mu passport yange kiriko nti Ugandan citizen, because now I know what I've been missing. I'm going to bring my family here every year. Bino sibya content. This is the honest truth from my heart. I want to show my children what they call home and their children after that. This will be a holiday venue for us. We are going to enjoy Uganda for as long as I live. Thank you, UWA. Thank you, Uganda Tourism Board. Thank you, the tourism industry. Let us do this more and more. Let young people understand that there's so much to explore in this country, but more importantly, they are born in a beautiful, beautiful country. God bless you. Uganda esinga Bulaya. Waikibenda.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Thank you so much for keeping it with us on UBC TV. Let's now talk business. Absa Bank Uganda has launched the inaugural Tin-Tan Awards to recognize dealers, partners playing a key role in expanding access to productivity asset financing across the country. Let's take a look at this.
A new annual initiative designed to strengthen strategic partnerships that are expanding access to vehicle and asset financing.
It's not simply about financing vehicles and equipment, it's about financing productive capacity. It gives businesses the tools that they need to grow, employ more people, serve more customers, and contribute meaningfully to the Uganda economy. When we finance a school bus, like that one that is behind there, we are helping children travel safely to school, enabling the school to serve more and more families. It's important, actually, when in light of the comments that Moses made and the recent tragedies that we've experienced in the country, that we actually get the right tools to move our children from one place to another.
The importance of asset financing continues to grow in Uganda as businesses increasingly invest in productive assets to enhance productivity, improve competitiveness, and expand operations.
We are very clear with our commitment to continue to improve both our customers and the dealers whom we shall be celebrating today. We will continue to be able to listen to you, to strengthen our partnership, and develop solutions that can respond to the needs of our people here in Uganda and across the region.
According to the Bank of Uganda's June 2026 State of the Economy report, private sector credit continues to register steady growth. Housing and real estate account for the largest share at 22%, followed by trade at 14%, agriculture at 12%, manufacturing at 11%, and transport and communication at 5%. Strong partnerships between government and the private sector was highlighted as critical to accelerating economic transformation and improving mobility across the country.
These partnerships enable farmers to acquire a new tractor. Partnerships can put a new truck on the road for a growing business. Partnerships can help a contractor acquire the machinery needed to build. And partnerships that enable schools to purchase a safer and more reliable bus for our children.
Among the recipients of the inaugural Titan Awards were Motor Center, Mighty Rides, Double Q, Tata Uganda, and Pearl Truck Uganda Limited. Dennis Igoa for UBC.
For the front page.
Moving on, the Minister of State for Fisheries, Robert Migade, has confirmed the government commitment to addressing policies that affect fish farmers for a smooth growth of the sector. Migade's reaction follows unaddressed concerns by farmers that have hindered them from transacting fish business locally due to stringent laws at the international market.
The Agriculture Research Development Center, ARDC Kajansi, have raised concern over farmers who have abandoned fish farming and export due to high costs of feed, misinformation and policies. The presidential advisor on exports and industrial development, Odrek Wabogo, says that many fish farmers sell fish in informal markets with no standard prices, no cold chain, and no contracts. The Minister of State for Fisheries, Robert Migade, says government is responding to the Regulation Act and guidelines by August this year with certification to enable farmers access formal markets.
As a ministry, we are fully behind you. We also have, of course, a committee that we set up, all that is going to be established under the Fisheries and Aquaculture Act. And when we were in Parliament, initially there was no provision for representatives of capture fisheries and aquaculture. So we have been with Parliament actually. There should be 2 representatives. One for aquaculture, actually 3. The third for the academia.
The opportunities are here, the demands are there, and the actors are really in the room today. The challenge that I foresee, it is really to translate this dialogue into partnership and partnership into impact.
The head of Agriculture Research Center at Kajansi, Dr. Papias Tibihika, challenged farmers to seek technical information at the Kajansi plant.
And our current generation is actually performing very well because we have a strain now which grows 3 grams per day. It means if you are growing this strain in a period of 5 months, you are able to get something like 500 grams or 450 grams. That is a very big output from us in order to advance aquaculture development in Uganda.
In the meantime, farmers need to utilize the black soldier fly technology that is a cheap source of feed compared to silverfish. BSF larvae contains 41 to 51% crude protein compared to mukene at 37% with crude fat of 11.8% compared to silverfish at only 2.9%.
We have a fish feed factory which has the capacity to generate 4 tons of fish feeds. So we are talking about 2 fish feed lines, one for the sinking, the other one for floating. So in total, we can generate 4 tons of fish feeds per hour.
I've learned like a lot of stuff. I never knew about the aquaculture stuff and I've never heard of it, but I've gotten the opportunity to get to know about it, the stuff that is done, the breeding of fish, and at the same time planting of vegetables. That is a really, really nice project, and I think if it really goes on well, it would help a lot of people out there.
Kajan Center assures farmers that fish farming is profitable only when right fishing standards, affordable inputs, and trusted information are adopted. Meanwhile, a plant nutritional scientist at Fedena Products Limited, Dani Mata Sengoba, is introducing farmers into contract farming with organic farming methods.
More onto contract farming based with our outgrowers to ensure that they access and we seek for them best market, and so that our outgrowers can meet standards for the produce grown in Uganda to meet the competitive market standard, especially in UAE or EU.
Rihanna Francisco, UBC News.
And now let's go to in-depth analysis of actually the inflation. Now, according to the Bank of Uganda X handle, we see annual inflation, core inflation remained stable at 3.4%. And of course, there we see that due to a slight increase in other goods, inflation being offset by a small decline in service and inflation. Now looking at some other goods, inflation rose mainly due to high beef and laundry soap prices, while services inflation raised due to lower food and beverages services and holiday packages. Now that is of statistics from Bank of Uganda. Good news to Ugandans: if inflation is managed properly in that manner. Now let's move to business as well and see what we have in Forex this morning. Looking at the Forex this morning, let me just look at the Forex. Well, I think I'll be coming back to that, but already on set, my counterpart, Julie, is ready. But let's just do a little bit of Forex before I hand over to Julie. Now, we look at the United States dollar. Buying is at 3,744.29. Buying and selling is at 3,754.29. That is if you have the United States dollar with you. Now the Great Britain pound is at 537.56, and that is at 5,000. Now selling is at 5,052.52. That is selling. You go to the euro, which is buying at 4,312.29 and selling at 4,324.56. You go to the Kenyan shilling. This Kenyan shilling as of Friday, July the 31st, 2026, it was buying at 28.92 and selling at 29.04. Now the Tanzanian shilling was at 1.40 and selling at 1.43. The Rwandan franc was at 2.54 and it was selling at 2.56. That is as of the Forex. Now concluding business, my counterpart Julie, she's already in the studios to take you through. Let's just get to know what exactly Julie has for us this morning. What should we expect, Julie, in the agenda?
Right, thank you very much, Robert. And it looks like we shall stay with matters business, but this time around looking at Africa's mineral policy and in line with the establishment of Africa's national mining companies. Be part of the conversation, I tell you, because you want to learn and relearn. 0709602592 to ask that question. And we're having this conversation with Patrick Lubega Mulindwa, who is the Chief of Staff, Head of Communications and Partnerships at the Africa Mineral Strategy Group.